Hello, this is the showcase for the lobby blueprint for Helix. I'm going to start by showcasing first the lobby in-game. So this is the lobby. As you can see here, we have Team 1 and Team 2, and this is the team selection. If we go in match settings and we change, for example, from mode to Team Deathmatch to Deathmatch, we won't see this here anymore. There's a feature so that obviously when the game mode changes in Team Deathmatch, you can choose your team, whereas in Deathmatch, you cannot. Here we have match settings, and you can add match time if you created the lobby, how long the match will last, 60 in seconds, 60 seconds, 120 seconds, etc, etc. Here we can change the maps. So this is the default one, the smaller one. Here it suggests 4 towers, so 6 players. This is the suggested maximum amount of players. Obviously, this is a custom lobby, so you can invite as many players as you want. And jungle 12 players, and desert to 16. Then here we have the player list. If other players were to join, you would see their names show here. And then we have character select. Character select is something I will showcase in a different video, but here you can select your character and various abilities. Here we have settings, which is something present in the main menu, which I explained before. And after you have selected everything and your friends are ready to go, you can press start, and you'll see a loading screen, which will then bring you to the gameplay. And now I will explain the blueprints. Here we have the blueprints for the lobby game mode. So in the gameplay, very simply, I set the game info instance to a variable so I can reuse it later. Then we have on post login. So when a player joins the lobby, this will trigger. This will be the player controller reference, which will be added to an array list for future use. Then it grabs the player and tells their controller here to create the lobby widget. This is what I showcased before. This is the whole widget of the lobby, and we set it as a variable so we can reuse it later. Shows the cursor, etc, etc. Then here we update the lobby settings. This is called again on the controller. And using the widget reference we got before, we set the map image and map text and map to load, which is the one in map selection. So if a server changes the map, everybody's map will change here. Then here in update player list here, when a player joins, the player list will update so that everybody will see who's joined. And here basically just grabs the player list and clears it, and then adds the new one with all the players and the player names here. Then we have the game mode. Here we set the game mode. As you've seen, when you change game mode in the lobby, the controller will tell the widget to do the appropriate changes, such as remove player team selection. Here, both on server and on clients, the team number is changed, is set to 0 as default, and then here the game mode is set depending on the team number. So what this does, it's a very seems like a long process, but very simply what it does, it uses this player team's session property, which is an array of objects and each object has a player name and a player and a team number. And this, what it does, it basically adds that team number to such player. It does a check to find the player present in the player teams, and then sets the team number here through the session property, and then adds the correct one and updates it. Tells the game info instance, gives the game info instance to the player teams, or gives the player teams the game info instance. Then so that's all for the on post login. So we explained these two. Then on logout, if a player logs out, it removes it from the array, updates the player list, and then removes it from the player team's array that I've shown before. Simply removes the index. Finally, in the lobby here, when you press launch game, what it does, it's grabs the game mode, for instance, and updates the session. What the update session does is basically grabs the session settings and sets the new ones, which is the player teams. So this player teams can be used through sessions. Updates it, and then after it updates it with success, here it will run the update advanced success. This is used, as I explained before, the use of developer variable. This enables us to test it on editor. So it skips this because this will never succeed because your Steam is not present on the editor. And so it just automatically skips this process. So you can test it on editor, and this will usually be the developer variable, will usually be false on production. Once that is done, checks if it's if the player is doing a tutorial. First loads the screen, and then if the player is doing a tutorial, it will simply run. It will open it will server travel to a specific map, which is the tutorial map. Or if it's not, then depending on the map choice and depending on the game mode, it server travels. Now I've decided to use server travel instead of a previous choice in the main menu, which just loads the level. And the reason why I did this is so that I can more dynamically load levels with specific game modes instead of needing to create more levels, each with a different default game mode. So as you can see, this one loads a deathmatch, whereas this one loads a team deathmatch. Then we have finally some custom functions. Here we are just adding or subtracting the number of players on team 1 and team 2 for future reference. This sets the team buttons hidden or shown when you change game mode. And then here, what it does here, every ticket, it grabs all the players and checks if all the players have set their team number, and if that is so, around here it basically enables the server to know if all players are ready. And after they check, after they press their team number selection, then they will have a ready button. Once they have pressed that button, then they should be ready, and then the server will be able to start the game. Here, as you can see, it basically changes their color, the name, depending on which team they set. Other than that, these are all the change colors and the set ready colors that you've seen here. They do exactly what it says. They change they set the ready button. They set the name color depending on the team. Disable or enable buttons depending on team 1 or team 2, because obviously you cannot have more players on a team 1 than on team 2. So it disables the team 1 button if there are too many on team 1, and the program calculates this depending on the max players that the server has set. So if there's 8 players max, then there are 4 players on team 1 will be locked. Yeah, that is all for the lobby game mode for Helix.